Happy spring to everyone. We hope you all had a great start to 2022 and everybody's been safe and healthy. My name is Steve James. I'm a partner at Stream Creative and the Milwaukee Hub lead. So we've been part of this HubSpot agency program for the last pretty much 11, 12 years, and love being part of the community, love learning HubSpot and working with our clients within the HubSpot tool pretty much every day. So I'm just going to quickly go through some housekeeping items since we haven't talked in a while, but I'm excited to see some new names and faces for this meetup. And obviously, please share the recording and reach out if you have any other questions about the Hub group in general. We're still virtual for right now until we get to go ahead to do live in-person events. So as soon as we do that, I will let everybody know, and then we'll kind of schedule some dates. Some upcoming events we have that I just wanted to share from a Milwaukee area standpoint is we have A&A Milwaukee Business Marketing has a nice event coming up called Agile Marketing in Action. Thought that would be something if anybody's interested in agile marketing, this is a great event. The next slide, we have a big event coming up. Our agency partners with Wider Group to put on Experience Inbound in June. So that's coming up pretty quick for us. I know early bird tickets are done on tomorrow actually for that pricing, but the tickets will go on sale continuing up until June. So that will be at American Family Field and then also at Lambeau Field. Same event, just two different locations. And then the third event is just promoting inbound. I'm sure you've gotten emails from HubSpot about inbound, but it's actually going to be live and in person this year, but also a virtual event as well. So you have that choice of what you want to do. And I know they're capping the audience a little bit smaller than typical, just from safety protocols and everything else. But just want to bring up that so you had some opportunities to look at some of those upcoming events that are going on. And then the last slide here is just our Q2 HubSpot user group. So most likely that'll be end of June. I'll send out an email. Probably I'll have a better idea of the date after this, and we get the recording and stuff. I'll probably set a tentative date that we have going on, and then by then I should know as well, hopefully, if we're going to be able to do live in person or this will be another virtual event. So I will send that out after this, and then keep you guys posted on who the speaker is and the overall topic. So last slide, John, you get to put in your own slide here for you, but I'm extremely excited to have John Pszenny here with us. So he's going to be talking about HubSpot's newest Service Hub features, and then utilize part of the time to really talk about some cool deep dive stuff that he's been working on with a lot of other companies within the Service Hub, and give some examples that we can kind of see within the tool. So he's been working with HubSpot for what now, John? 6 years, 7?
Yeah, about coming up on 7 years, which is crazy. I started HubSpot when it was just a marketing platform, and then it grew into a full base CRM, marketing tools, Sales Hub, Service Hub, CMS, Ops Hub now. So it's been a crazy ride. Nuts to see how fast it's grown.
Yeah, it's amazing to see over the years of what you've been able to learn and grow and teach companies like us to help all of our clients. So John's been pretty much an extension of our team for those 6 years, and we obviously wouldn't be here without him. So we're excited to have him kind of do this deep dive. So I'll stop talking. We'll keep the short intro and let John jump in. But if you have any questions, please throw them in the Q&A, and then I'll try to moderate. So let's go, John.
Yeah, and thank you, Steve, for that intro. I'll preface this that I hate just for long periods of time talking at people. So if you do have a question and Steve sees it, we can absolutely pause and maybe have like a conversation and stop on something. We don't have to wait fully to questions at the end. Main topic today is a dive in so HubSpot recently relaunched our Service Hub. We have a big focus on it right now to really build out how we're enabling teams on the post-sale side, whether from a support standpoint, customer success, to really enable them with tools that can help them succeed, just like we have on sort of the Marketing Hub and sales tools, helping enable those teams to help really create a consistent customer experience through your entire company. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk about the Service Hub overall, holistically, kind of go through each of the tools that are available today and specifically talk about some of the new ones all of the new ones that were just launched. And one of the things that Steve mentioned that I'm really excited to talk about is actually for about 2 years now, I found an interesting way to use the service hub, which is basically a different use case than you would initially think to use it for, which is really for like support purposes and tickets. But it's actually taking those tools and aligning it with your own internal processes like project management, onboarding of customers, onboarding of new hires to create a consistent process there and actually automate a lot of your processes doing that. So I have a full demo built out of that that we'll walk through as well, just to help the wheels turning to see, oh, there are other use cases for Service Hub than I initially thought, which is really neat. So that's what we'll high level go through today. Again, throw questions up. We can pause if a bunch pop up and pause to talk about something. So first, three components to our customer service solution here with the Service Hub is number one, the help desk train of thought. So having the inbox, agent presence, so live chat, conversation forwarding, the knowledge base to help enable folks to be able to find resources on their own. Customer portal, which is new, which we'll talk about, custom views in the shared inbox, and then the mobile inbox, which allows your team, if they're on the move or want to be able to have access to being able to answer help questions or situations, again on the move, they can do so on their mobile phone now. Omnichannel service, so being able to meet people where they want to be met and have a conversation with your customers. So not forcing you into one necessarily channel, but having, chat bots, Facebook Messenger, in-app chat, conversational intelligence to help enable you with more data to figure out how to help coach, build your team into more effective problem solvers, inbound calling, and then post chat feedback. So being able to see, hey, how could we have done that better? Figure out where to maybe tighten some screws and work on some feedback with folks on your team. And then finally, fully integrated CRM on automation. So being able to use ticket pipelines, ticket automation, custom feedback surveys, and feedback surveys in general, custom surveys, which is new and something I'm really excited about because they are applicable in other ways than just for post sale conversations or feedback. You can use them after webinars in your marketing because they're truly that solution now where you kind of don't need that survey monkey. Like you can build your own survey inside of HubSpot and get real time data back on it. And then finally, SLAs and service analytics. But let's dive in here. Overall mission statement for Service Hub is putting your customer first with an easy and connected platform that delivers authentic service. So let's talk about the help desk and those the tools that are a part of that. So one, there's the shared inbox. This is the conversations inbox. What you've probably seen in your tool, each customer has that with our base product. You have one free ticket pipeline and a conversations inbox. You can connect a team email to here. This is where any of your chat conversations are being stored and recorded. So whether it's team email, live chat, Facebook Messenger, your chat bots, all of those conversations are being connected to a conversations inbox, and that's where you can go and see the actual history of those conversations. Uh, One thing I'd like to point out with shared inbox is, again, encouraging you to think outside the box. You don't have to just use this as a support tool. I have folks that I've worked with that have used this for upsell. They'll attach like a sales at HubSpot.com to it. So when people request either extra project work or something, something out of scope that you originally talked to them about, or new projects or new software or whatever the case may be, you can use it as a tool for visibility for your entire team for upsell requests or maybe project work, or again, doesn't have to just be for support purposes. You can use it for a lot of different ways. And it's very much like just a Gmail or Outlook inbox right inside of your tool. The other thing is custom views inside of the inbox now, which is brand new. So this allows you to customize. Before, you were kind of restricted to, okay, I can filter by any open chats that are unassigned, whether they're assigned to me, whether I've been mentioned inside of the chat or the specific channel. But now you can actually set up specific inboxes that are aligned with your business. So you can set up custom views like, oh, do we want to do it based on priority, or do we want to do it based on specific issue or content or context, whatever you want to align it for, and make those custom views for yourselves. And whenever you see this slide, and which we'll share out the slide deck after, you can see I've put the benefit, how to use it, so like different use cases, but also which tier it's in. So whether it's in the base model, starter, pro, or enterprise of HubSpot Service Hub. Next one is agent presence in the inbox. So you can actually also see who is available. So scaling your team's productivity, who's actually online currently inside of the inbox, who is available to take a help ticket or have a conversation with someone, so you can actually see who is online and ready to work, or you can see who is actually not available currently, so you can actually just get that live sort of pulse check for your team. And then finally, the mobile inbox, which is also new. So this just allows you to have the conversations inbox at the tip of your fingertips on your own mobile phone. So if you're on the go, you need to go do something, go pick the kids up, but you're still needing to make sure you have visibility into what's going on. You can see and respond to chats, update ticket information, collaborate with your teammates while you're on the go. This is available to everyone and is free as a part of the base CRM and Service Hub. And then the knowledge base. So this has been around for a bit now. This is available for Pro Plus, but this allows you to have another subdomain as a part of your HubSpot account. So you have your landing pages, your blog, if you're hosting your blog on HubSpot, but you also can have the knowledge base. Again, good use cases for this is it doesn't have to necessarily just be for external uses for your customers. If you have more of a team that maybe you have like a higher learning ramp where you have a lot of either systems, processes, documentation that your team needs to really learn up on or train up on, you can actually use the knowledge base for internal purposes as well. Just make it not viewable to the public and have it be like an internal resource lookup where your team can go and type in, hey, I want to see what's our pricing page for X, or how do I log a ticket, or what's this, insert business process X here. You can use the knowledge base in that capacity as well, but it is also a great use as like another SEO generator, just like a blog, to have, here's another subdomain where I can post content, help enable my team by answering frequently asked questions in the form of a page that can be accessible by a customer or visitor to my website. And you can also, with the knowledge base, attach automation to a conversation with a bot, where the bot can actually, based on someone's question, either pull up relevant knowledge base articles and reference it on your site, or just drop in a search bar to the chat and someone can type in their question and it'll say, hey, based on what you're looking for, here's some relevant articles to it. And then finally, customer portal. This one is also really neat. If you haven't seen this before, this is available on Service Pro Plus. This enables you to give more visibility into your processes for your customers. So this allows your customers to log in and be able to see the status of a ticket. So think, hey, if you've ever called into HubSpot support before and you want to see the status of your ticket, what's going on? Are we waiting on the customer? Are we waiting on the HubSpot? What stage of the process is it in? You can actually do that now for yourselves with the customer portal and allow people to log in, see the status, current conversations going on between them and your team. Again, this is another thing where you can think of other use cases for it. I have a couple customers who are actually not using this for support purposes at all, but are using it for like work orders. So they used a ticket pipeline instead of for support. It's the different phases of their work order process, and they allow their customers to log into the customer portal to see the status of the work order, what phase is it in. You can pick and choose which properties a customer can see on their end. So you could say, cool, I have ticket and these properties are part of it. So like maybe what's the project or what's the status, who's working it, what's the problem. I can pick and choose which properties specifically the customer can see on the other side. So maybe I have internal properties I don't want them to see. And maybe I want maybe like status or what stage it's in, who's the individual working on it. Maybe I want that viewable externally to the customer. You can choose that and allow for them to interact with that individual right from their customer portal. So it acts as sort of a command center. So again, doesn't have to just be for support. You can use it for a lot of different purposes. Maybe you need to like onboard customers. So maybe you're a software company. Again, can have this thing where they log in, see what phase of onboarding they're in, maybe have conversations directly with their success manager right through that customer portal. So some neat use cases there as well.
John, we had a question from
Yeah,
Kirsten. Can you pick and choose which tickets you want the customer to see, or is it just default to all tickets that
that's
show
a
up in the customer portal?
yeah, that's a great question. So it's not going to show them. It's only going to show them tickets they're associated with. So if they have multiple tickets open, they'll be able to see any tickets they've opened. They will not be able to see tickets that have nothing to do with them. They can only see tickets they've opened themselves. Where you do have some customization is whether you want other folks from their company to be able to log in and see that ticket. So let's say Steve from Stream Creative opened up a ticket with HubSpot, and I can choose whether I just want Steve to be able to log in and see that, or if I want someone else from Stream Creative to also be able to log in and see Steve's ticket. So you can choose whether if they're associated with the company, they can log in and see the ticket as well. Again, for different use cases, there's a lot of different things you could do there. But yes, you can choose to restrict, hey, they're only seeing the tickets they are actually tied to.
Okay, so
Does that
then
answer your question?
I think a follow-up question to that was, can you choose which of their tickets to show? For example, like tier one tickets are displayed, but tier two and three are not displayed. I think you kind of are answering that, like not right now. You can't
Yeah,
basically like have different levels of tickets, right?
that's a great question too. Yeah. So as of right now, you can't pick and choose. Like if they have two tickets open, you can't say like, oh, okay, they're not going to see this one, but they can see this one.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, and I can absolutely like suggest that if that's not already on our radar. Um, but as of right now, it would be any tickets they're associated with they can see.
Okay.
Any other questions to pause there before moving on to the next portion, which is omni-channel?
Doesn't look like it. I think you can
Cool.
keep going.
So this next part, omni-channel service. So live chat, chat bots, Facebook Messenger, all that good stuff. Live chat, we've all seen it, we've all used it, hopefully. But this is to help enable folks real time on your website, whether that's from a support capacity or a sales rep. Maybe you have specific live chat for sales reps on your services page. Maybe you have live chat for support on other pages. A lot of different use cases for it for that real time sort of customer service. My suggestion is if you ever do go down the live chat route, is that if you can't, and this is kind of the best advice I've ever heard on it, is like if you can't treat live chat like you're on the phone with someone, and your SLA is like, hey, if I'm live chatting with someone, that's a live conversation. I'm on a phone call with them. If it's going to take me couple like 30 seconds, a minute to get back to them to treat that like a real-time conversation, I probably should not get into live chat. So definitely like strategically, if you want to go down that road, make sure you can commit to it having, being a like real-time conversation. I know that's probably self-explanatory, but like something I like to throw out there. Chatbots, also something that comes with the base CRM as well. It does have added functionality when you have the Service Hub. The two pieces of functionality that comes with the Service Hub, specifically, is the ability for the knowledge base lookup. So being able to reference if you've built out a knowledge base, ability for a customer to be able to reference that knowledge base and search for a relevant article based on their issue, or the ability to open up a ticket automatically from a chat bot. So the bot, if they recognize the individual needs help and they say, yep, I want to open up a ticket, the bot can automatically open up a ticket for that person. There's a lot. I could do a whole session on chatbots. I'm a big fan. I think we recently did some studies that found like the baby boomer generation is like 70% more likely to engage with bots than any other generation. Um, they're really neat, and you can get very strategic with bots to the point where if you have good strategy, you could have bots on your site that remember what life cycle stage someone's in and speaks to them completely different than a different individual. If I know Steve is interested in X, that bot can be programmed to talk with them or talk with him a different way than another bot or another person rather. So a lot of cool stuff you can do with it, but those two pieces of bot technology is what you can do with Service Hub particularly. So knowledge-based lookup and create tickets. Other new feature is post-chat feedback. So when you have a chat with someone, live chat, or with the bot, you can actually just drop right in to that conversation, some immediate feedback to get an immediate pulse check on how customers felt about that interaction. So you can easily set that up to capture feedback at the end of a conversation, and that goes right into your reporting, which you can pull up in the feedback area of Service Hub. So this is a cool new feature, drops right into the chat pane at the end of the conversation. So you can get real-time feedback for it. Facebook Messenger integration. So this has also been inside of the Service Hub for a while, but this just allows you to integrate your chat features with Facebook Messenger if your audience is pretty heavy on Facebook and you want to be able to have and cover that dynamic as well. And then in beta right now, this was one I know a lot of folks were interested in, which is inbound calling. So in beta, this allows you to receive inbound calls directly to your personal device and automatically upload that call data within HubSpot CRM. So you can purchase phone numbers directly from HubSpot. It allows for you to connect directly with the customer over our voice IP, comes with Starter. And again, you can have those conversations directly just drop in right after that into the CRM inside of their contact record or onto a ticket.
John, we have a follow-up question on that.
Yeah.
Is there a Zoom phone platform integration for the inbound calling that you
That's a good question too. I'm not sure. As of right now, I don't think it connects to Zoom. I think it's just run right through HubSpot. I can see if there's anything in the works for that. That's a good one. But as of right now, it just does right through. It just acts like a phone number, not on Zoom.
Okay.
But that's a great question. And any of those type ones where you're like, hey, I have a question feature-wise, and if it's not something I can answer immediately, I'm going to write it down so I can follow up with Steve, and he'll be able to share follow-up information with the group. And then finally, conversational intelligence, which comes with Service Hub Enterprise. This is pretty neat because if you're utilizing, whether it's in HubSpot calling, Zoom, Just Call, any of those integrations you can see listed here, you can actually get real-time data to track what was the conversation like give and go. How much did the rep talk? How much did the customer talk? What did they talk about? Was there small talk? You actually get data to be able to see how the conversation went, to be able to use for coaching, for more effective communications between your rep and your customers, to help not only train your team, but also find ways to implement better solution given or question asking. So a lot of different use cases for this as well. Again, does not have to just be used for a support feature. You can use it as well as in sales conversations and things like that. You can build reports on this, track terms associated with performance. So if you drop in specific keywords that you're looking to pull out, whether they're mentioning specific products of yours or what questions are they asking, and then you can trigger workflows based on those track terms to automate your business. So you could say, oh, they talked about product X a lot. I'm going to make sure they're put into this workflow that maybe upsells them on this particular product, or I want to drop them in a workflow to follow up based on that conversation because I know they were having a lot of trouble with product X, and maybe I want to make sure I follow up with them to give them some TLC. Final portion on Service Hub features before we dig into like the live demo portion on that unique use case is fully automated and integrated CRM. So ticket pipelines, you have just like deal pipelines, same user interface. It just provides you with a way to have a board where you can effectively see the different stages of your process, whether that be a support process or ones we'll explore in a second here actually for onboarding or project management. But you can effectively use this and manage that process, customize what those stages are. Every customer gets a free ticket pipeline out of the box, and you can add more as you start to explore the Service Hub itself. You can also automate your help desk with automation built into workflows. Not only the workflows tool, but actually tied to each stage of your ticket process. So if a ticket hits a certain stage, you can automate specific things to happen, whether that's internal communication, external communication, updating a team that something happened, updating a property to have them go down a specific path line. We're actually going to dig, this is where it gets really cool and what I'm about to dig into in a second, where the use cases kind of explode here, which I like to talk about and am pretty excited about. But you can automate your entire process with ticket automation as well.
John, one quick question.
Yeah.
Do tickets integrate into deals?
Do tickets integrate? Could you, I guess, what do you, more context on that? What are you thinking? If you can type it.
So I'm wondering if you have a deal going on, the deal stage. This is just me throwing a question out there. But
Yeah.
if you have a deal stage and have the ticket pipeline, will a ticket show up into the deal properties, or is it more at the contact and company properties?
Oh, great question. Yeah, great question. So it won't, if you have an open deal, I would probably be and I'll actually show this in the demo because it's a good question. You're going to look probably on the contact level to see like, oh, does this contact have an open deal with us and maybe a ticket? Maybe if let's say they reach out in my conversations inbox, their contact record is automatically pulled up on the side when I'm talking to them. And I can see, okay, if they have a problem, do they have like a deal that's open that's worth a lot of money? Maybe I need to pay special attention to them. Do they have a ticket that they're already working on? Did they open one previously? I'm not going to be able to see from the ticket whether they have an open deal. I can automate, let's say, and I'll actually show this. You could say, hey, deal reaches a certain stage of my process, automatically now create a ticket in a new pipeline and copy all the information from the deal to the ticket. You can do things like that. But if I go to a deal record, I won't be able to see a ticket association, but I can if I see who's associated with the deal, like the contact. I can then go to the contact and see, do they have open deals and tickets, or the company, does the company have open deals and tickets? Does that make sense and answer the question?
Yeah, what about the reverse? Like, could a ticket turn into a deal? So let's say they get a phone call or a ticket and someone's in court and it turns into a project like opportunity. Can you then quickly turn a ticket into a deal, or do you have to go back over the deal stage and create a new deal from that conversation?
Also a good question. I think it would depend on where that conversation is coming from. So again, like to show as an example, if that person chats in, I can have their contact record pulled up right with the communication I'm having with them. And you can actually have the option to make that decision making and say, does this sound like more like an issue and a part of like a process that I want to put in and make it a ticket? Or do I want to make it more of a deal? You can actually self attribute that like right from their contact record. If you get to a point where like, oh, ticket's halfway down the pipeline, and then I realize this is actually an upsell opportunity, I would just go and make a deal and then just close that ticket. There's no way I can be like, all right, I want to convert this ticket to a deal.
That's perfect. I think that kind of clarifies.
This is another feature that's brand new that I know folks were excited about, which is SLAs. So you can now actually set up service level agreements inside of your inboxes with Service Hub. This is available for Pro, Service Hub Pro and above. But you can set service level agreements in the tickets inbox based on things like uh, when, what's the time frame based on priority of the ticket. If I say this is low priority, when should my team be answering this by? What's the deadline? So, like for high priority tickets, they should be closing and answering these by, 24 hours or 3 hours, whatever you want to set. And then you can build reporting in the back end to show you what that looks like and whether your team is achieving those SLAs. Again, for like coaching purposes, tweaking your processes, figuring out, are they hitting these goalposts? So you're allowed to sort of more easily report and monitor time to like first reply, time to close, so that you can really effectively coach your team to make sure that they're stepping up to the plate with customers and communicating with them in timely manner. Customer feedback surveys, mentioned this a little bit earlier, but these are amazing. I think there are a whole treasure trove of cool things that you can do with the surveys inside of Service Hub. There's a couple different ones, and I'll show you. Actually, bring up my own portal here just to show this live. But you have a couple different survey options. So you have the create custom survey. So you can create your own survey from scratch, build in your own questions, anything that you want. From again, like think of other use cases like, cool, do I want to use this for marketing? Do I want to use this for post sale? Do I want to use this for like the sales process to get live information or feedback? A lot of different use cases. The standard surveys that are built in are the customer support survey, which is a survey you can tie to go out to a customer when a ticket reaches the end of a pipeline. Again, these ones you can't really customize the questions that are asked. They're by design meant to be very easy to do because we live in a very fast-paced world now. And I don't know about folks on the call, but when someone sends me a survey, unless it's like something I'm really passionate about or I had a really great experience, if it is going to take me a couple minutes, I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it later. And then I forget about it. So these surveys are really designed to be super easy so that people are more willing and likely to do them but also valuable to your team to get actual information back and have effective communication that follows up with individuals based on how they answer. So all of these can't customize the answers, but you can choose the time and place when they appear, who it appears to, if it's on your website, does it pop up only for specific people, customers, or people who are part of a specific list. So customer satisfaction, sad face, neutral face, happy face. Again, you can have specific workflow communication that follows up based on how they answer. And then same with customer loyalty, so NPS. You could use this. Hey, if you have a customer service team or success team, maybe this is a part of their metric, which is maybe happy customers. Like, what's their working with customers? What's their average NPS score for John? Does he is that something we talk about in his performance review? Is that something we want to start tracking as part of their metrics and process? So some great surveys you can build in, and then a fully custom option where you can build custom surveys as well. We did also just add in, I'll call out the functionality with custom feedback surveys to create uh, different ways and follow-ups based on how somebody answers the first question and second question. So I could say, hey, if Steve answers this question this way, the next question could look completely different for him based on how he answers. So you can actually have those progressive forms where it's a different experience for everyone based on how they answer the questions. And then finally, service analytics. So you can build in reporting, a lot of good native reports based on the tickets and surveys that you can build in covering key insights into like your inbox, the SLAs that you've set, how tickets are moving through your pipelines, how your different customer success or service team is engaging with people, what's their time to respond, how many tickets do they have open. Again, like getting the wheels going. If I'm using tickets for a different purpose, and we'll look at this in a second, do I want to count tickets as customers we're working with? There's lots of cool things that you can do here, and these reports that enable you, where I feel like a lot of companies I've seen over the years don't have a lot of post-sale reporting to help enable their teams. This provides a lot of flexibility there to start actually seeing what those relationships look like and where you can, where screws are loose and where you can help coach your team to be more effective support for your customers. So that brings us to the cool stuff portion of this, which I like to call, which is where I'm literally going to dive into the tool and show you this demo of using the Service Hub for these unique processes. So this is my challenge, you guys. Like you've seen for those of you that've seen the Service Hub, used it for some time. A lot of folks kind of looked at it, hey, like I don't have a support team, I don't really need it. I don't do tickets, I don't have a product that needs that. You can actually use it for a lot more than that. So some example use cases here on the screen: customer onboarding, new hire onboarding. Everyone on this call probably has employees that get onboarded to their company. And I bet you either don't have your process written down, and it might be really different for each person who joins the team every time. What if you had a process that was effective, that was the same, to ensure employees did the same things every single time they came on board, but allowed flexibility enough to, based on their role, have workflow triggers that, hey, if I know they're a sales rep, they're gonna get these to-dos or be sent these certifications to take, or learn this process as a part of our company. So you can still have that flexibility, but still they follow the same path line. So you can also really start to look at, is our onboarding of new hires effective? Can we tweak it at all? Can we make it more efficient? Just adds for more visibility there. Projects, customer relationship, work orders, and then finally value add. You can report on these processes. So this is where it gets pretty cool. So if I go back where I'd like to start this journey, if you guys will, and if I may. So this is my portal. I just built out a demo in here. Where I like to start with this is in the deals tool. So as I mentioned before, here's my deal process. Here's my closed one. What I'm going to do is hit the cog up here on the right, and that's going to bring me down to the properties and objects, and it's going to automatically bring me to deals. I can go into pipelines, hit automate, and I can set up workflow actions based on what stage of deal is in. So what I have here is great. When a deal hits closed won, I automatically want a ticket to be created in my customer onboarding pipeline. And I want everything from the deal to copy to the ticket. And I can build in native properties to the ticket that aren't native to tickets. Do I want to track MRR, who their client success owner is, what industry they're in, anything. So this is where you can kind of open your mind, like, oh, I could use this for other things, because you can customize and build properties to the ticket however you want. And then we can build reporting on that. So in this case, deal closes, automatically moves them to my post-sale process touchlessly. I don't have to do anything manually anymore. I don't have to go and talk to Karen down in the other room. I can just have them transfer the relationship to the next phase with my company automatically. Then I go to the tickets tool, and the customer is in my onboarding process. So you can see the tickets represent a different customer I'm working with. I can customize the stages to my desire. So new client, kickoff call, account setup, onboarding stage 1, 2, 3, new hires, the different stages of your new hire process. But just like we just did with deals, I can go to the cog here. It's going to bring me to objects and tickets. I can go to pipelines. I'm going to pick my pipeline, and I'm going to hit automate. And I can say, great, I want, every time we get a new customer that works with us, I want to set up a success owner, and I want to send them an onboarding welcome email to my company. Hey, welcome to working with us. Here's a couple resources for you. Here's your success owner. They're going to be in touch. Here's a link to their meeting calendar. Book time for your kickoff call with our company. Or, hey, work order has been received. Here's some information. Here's the product that we're working on. Here's the individual who's going to be coming out to do that or is working on it for you. lots of different use cases. The questions I sometimes get is, hey, John, we got Asana, or we got Basecamp, we got another project management tool. That's great. This does not need to replace it. It actually covers over it, because you can actually integrate those softwares with HubSpot. And I can say, you will see when you have that option, you've integrated an Asana as an example, you'll see it as an option down here to say, great, when a ticket hits this stage, populate these 20 tasks inside of Asana. So instead of having to overload your team with, maybe they got too much on their plate, maybe like 100 tasks at once when you get a new customer is too overwhelming for them, now you can spread it out and say, great, when they become a new client or at this stage, populate these 10 tasks. When it hits this stage, populate these next 10 tasks, and maybe email our developer or email our IT team because maybe they got to get a computer set up for them. You can now space out what's happening and specifically have different things trigger at different times. Or maybe like, hey, maybe a lot of you forget to ask your customers to leave you reviews on different sites. What if that's just done automatically? Hey, leave us a review here. Here's a link to it. Here's some things, nice things people have said about us in the past. And to ensure that this only goes out to people that are happy, you can build in a property to your tickets that maybe says like, is this customer happy, sad, or angry? And you can set up a conditional, because again, these are just like workflows. I can say an if then statement and say, if my success managers updated them to happy, send them the email to leave us a review. So you can ensure that it's only going to go to really people that are really, really happy. So I'm hoping like there's more to see here, but I'm hoping you're starting to this is like helping opening your mind to like, you can use this for a lot of different things. It doesn't just have to be a support process. It's allowing you to kind of design, hey, based on our internal processes, let's help that fit in. Now we can automate a lot of different things that maybe take up a lot of time for our team every day, or things that are repeatable. And now the final piece of this is great. I can also see reporting on it. So where I started, you can see I've created a whole dashboard. These are all just custom reports I've built off of native or the custom properties I built onto tickets. So I want to add a glance to see how much MRR are my different success owners managing. Are they at capacity? How much should they like? Maybe it's 25,000 the good amount. Maybe I want every one of them to be managing a certain amount. At my fingertips, I can see one place. What's my clients by industry? Give me a breakdown. How many accounts are my success managers managing? Do I have a capacity limit? Should it be 10 or 15 per success owner? Or hey, how many work orders are they currently working on right now? How many projects are they working on right now? Is there a capacity limit? Instead of having to manually go hunt that stuff down or use a manual process, all of this is at my fingertips in one place. So I hope that was helpful as like a unique. I want to make sure there's time to just have free form questions and answers, but that's kind of a walkthrough of like, hey, this can be used for other things. Again, mentioning other things as far in line with this use case is I can use feedback surveys as a part of this. I can use the customer portal in that different use case if I want my customers to see what stage of onboarding they're in, or I want them to see what the status of their work order is, their project. They can log in and be able to see that ticket as represented under the guise of like a work order or a where they're at in onboarding based on your stages, your process, and which properties you want them to be able to see. So I hope that was helpful. I appreciate all of you for letting me nerd out and talk through that. But HubSpot's really excited about the relaunch of the Service Hub. I'm excited just for all of these new tools, capabilities, but also being kind of expanding what you can really use it for. And I hope this was shedding light on some other ways that you could potentially help automate your post-sale relationships with your customers or for your own internal company's processes and automation.
Yeah, if we have any questions, thank you, John, for doing that.
Yeah.
Feel free to add them to the chat and we can follow up right now. I have one to kick off. So I saw something when you were looking at the workflows, you could use custom code in the automation. Is that's at the enterprise level?
Custom code is actually attached to Operations Hub. So that is
Okay.
functionality that comes with the Operations Hub, allows you to custom code basically like when people ask me, it's like, well, what does that mean, or what can you do with it? It's kind of answers like, if you can code it, you can do it. Honestly, webhooks, referencing different, pulling information from different softwares. But yeah, the custom coded actions comes with the operations hub, but you could use it in those other processes if you're setting it up.
Yeah, that's great. It gives you a lot of flexibility and opportunity.
Yep.
Okay. And then the other thing, from a one-to-one video messaging, we utilize one-to-one video all the time on the sales process standpoint. So in Service Hub, you can also do that in the Pro and above, right? So you can integrate, like in that automation sequences, you could have an email that's going to kick off, but that's going to have a one-to-one video. Is there any other use cases that you've seen?
Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, so each of the Pro versions of HubSpot, Marketing, Sales, and Service Hub come with their own video features. So allowing, like, for marketing video use, I want to drop in videos to my nurturing process. For sales, I want my sales reps to be able to record video and have something they can put into a sequence or email. Same thing with service. Whether that's, hey, I want to walk through their situation with them through like a 5-minute video, or maybe I want to drop in a pre-recorded video for like a new hire as a part of, hey, like, this is your first time seeing HubSpot. We use HubSpot. Like, here's how you navigate through the tool. Here's where you're going to find your taskbar, to make it more like specific to them, or for your customers. Like, hey, I want to just record a quick video. Seeing that human and making that human connection does build something there. I will talk all day about that kind of stuff as well. I think that's something humans will never, as automation continues to increase, like, you're never going to lose that human aspect. Humans trust humans, and seeing that face is always going to be something that works. So that's where I see it applied a lot in the Service Hub use case, is like, oh, do I want to just explain something quickly to someone so that there's no loss of communication through just email context? Maybe I read something and I think that person's coming off kind of angry or rude. Have a video to skirt around any misset expectations there.
Great. Any other questions? All right. So I think, yeah, this is great. I really appreciate it. I think there's obviously a ton of opportunity, new features. I know that the Service Hub pricing is changing, and that's being announced, right, at some point?
Yep. It will be updating. So the price will increase on May 2nd.
Okay.
So if you are interested in it, you actually can take advantage of the current pricing of Pro right now, as it is. I believe it is. I have to double check. We can also send it out after. But it is increasing on May 2nd, I know. But you can take advantage of that pricing today. So it's at $400 right now. I believe it'll be increasing to $500 to align with Sales Pro on May 2nd.
Perfect. All right. Well, yeah, thank you so much. Just to close this out, everyone, we'll send the recording. We'll definitely have a follow-up email shortly with that. And then if you do have any other follow-up questions after you kind of think about this, just send them to me if you want, and I can pass them along to John or coordinate that way. And I think, connect with John on LinkedIn if you want as well. Otherwise, we'll be in touch, and I'll give you updates on when our Q2 event will be in June. So thanks everyone for attending. John, thank you so much. This was awesome. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.